Hello guys, welcome back to Anime Moments. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of upcoming episode of Renegade Immortal based on novel. So let's start. The day quickly passed by. There were 6 more rounds, and Wang Lin won 3 more battles. The demon generals had no help in 2 of the battles, so he only needed to win 1 fight to win each one. Shuligwa also came back to Wang Lin's bag of holding earlier. It wasn't certain if the girl sword spirit was scared off by Shuligwa's harassment. After turning to the sword, she didn't come out anymore. After the first day of the demon general competition ended, the various demon generals returned to their homes. This round will last for 7 to 10 more days. Fortunately, winners don't have to go, so Wang Lin was given a short period of time to rest. The competition between the demon generals and slaughter between cultivators was not something Wang Lin wanted to see every day. He'd rather not think about this matter and preferred to go listen to the zither music while drinking wine. It was much more relaxing and carefree. Compared to Wang Lin, Mo Lihai's mentality was not as good. He would go to the competition every day and record any spells he thought were worth noting. Then every night, he would give the information to Wang Lin. All of his hopes were on Wang Lin. During these days, Wang Lin's heart was completely immersed in the music to help him find his Tao. He has been listening to this music for a while now, but he has always listened as a passerby who savored the taste of the zither music. As for Shuligwa, after meeting the sword spirit maiden, he would endless talk about it to Wang Lin. He simply wanted Wang Lin to release him so he could go meet the little beauty. On this day, the boat hadn't arrived yet, and Wang Lin was lying on the side of the river while holding the wine jug. He looked up at the white clouds in the sky, and in his eyes, the clouds seemed to be undergoing a change. Many people often think that clouds are ethereal objects, but just like the zither music, they aren't nothingness. It is the human heart that is ethereal. If the heart couldn't be moved, then the clouds would be fixed, and if the heart isn't scared, then the zither music goes away. Wang Lin took a sip of wine. His eyes were filled with confusion. Ascendant, how can I make it so my domain meets the requirements to reach the ascendant stage? At nascent soul stage, one comprehends one's domain to reach the soul formation stage. At the soul formation stage, one makes their domain real to reach the soul transformation stage. At the soul transformation stage, one can fuse their domain with their body, but it still isn't enough to reach the ascendant stage. My domain has already fused with my body, and my Tao heart was completed the moment Wan went to sleep. However, I'm still missing a step. What exactly is this step? Everyone comprehends different domains and thus all have different Tao, so it is impossible to ask. Even if I were to ask, it would actually be disadvantageous, as it could lead me down the wrong path. I can only cultivate by myself and comprehend it by myself. The confusion in his eyes became even stronger, but just at this moment, Shuligwa's hysterical voice entered his brain. Master, let me out. That little beauty hasn't seen me for a long time and must miss me greatly. Master, do you have the heart to break a blessed couple up? Master, let me out. Wang Lin frowned. This Shuligwa had been going on endlessly throughout these past few days, so he sealed the connection between them. After a few days of silence, Shuligwa actually broke the seal and began shouting once more. Wang Lin, back then you forced me and the great beauty apart, and now you are trying to forcibly separate me and the little beauty. What is in your heart? You must be jealous. Yes, you are jealous of my lucky encounters with love. There was a hint of pride in Shuligwa's angry voice. Wang Lin's eyes became cold. Although Shuligwa was loyal, the premise was that Wang Lin was several times stronger than him. And Shuligwa's new master must be weaker than Wang Lin, or at least not too much stronger, or else Shuligwa's loyalty would immediately disappear. The giant demon clan ancestor was a good example. If it was changed to someone like the All-Seer, Ling Qianhu, or the blood ancestor, Shuligwa would immediately sell Wang Lin out. Aside from this shortcoming, this devil also had another problem. Once it met a woman, it would change into a completely different person. Wang Lin thought that this was fixed after all these years, but it looked like he was still the same. However, Shuligwa was naturally timid, so if he didn't have backing, he wouldn't dare to speak to Wang Lin like this. It seemed like Shuligwa had hidden a lot of things after they left planet Suzaku. The coldness in Wang Lin's eyes increased. Shuligwa didn't notice Wang Lin's state of mind and continued to chatter on and on. Wang Lin, when you took the great beauty away from me, I thought you had some great use for her, but HMPH, my poor great beauty was used as an adultery prop for you and that slut, Liu Mai. Wang Lin calmly said, "You've said enough." Enough? That's not enough. Let me out so I can find the little beauty and then it will be enough. Shuligwa's voice became somewhat weak. He vaguely felt like something he said had ticked this fiend off, but after thinking about the spells he had learned during this time, his courage suddenly increased. Just as Shuligwa was about to continue, Wang Lin slapped his bag of holding and the celestial sword flew out. Shuligwa let out a happy cheer and immediately came out of the celestial sword. A thick, black gas turned into a black mist before it turned into Shuligwa. He let out a laugh and was about to fly straight to the Imperial Palace. However, just at this moment, Wang Lin's eyes became cold, and his right hand reached out and grabbed the celestial sword. He wiped his hand over the sword and the sword released a burst of light and trembled. Shuligwa immediately turned toward Wang Lin and shouted, "Wang Lin, what are you doing?" Wang Lin coldly looked at Shuligwa. This gaze was like a pot of cold water being poured over Shuligwa, and he immediately awakened from his lust. Wang Lin's gaze immediately reminded Shuligwa of the day Wang Lin refined him into a devil. Then various scenes of these past several hundred years flashed through his mind. This is a fiend. What isn't he willing to do? He killed the entire Tang family and he killed countless people on planet Suzaku. Shuligwa trembled. Master, Shuligwa immediately revealed a smile to please. Wang Lin coldly looked at Shuligwa. The more Wang Lin acted like this, the more scared he became. Various scenes of Wang Lin's past slaughters emerged in his heart. I gave you the body of a devil, let you rise up to a sword spirit, and let you stay in the celestial sword to protect yourself. Wang Lin's voice was calm, but when it entered Shuligwa's ears, he couldn't help but secretly curse. Now I'm going to take it back. Wang Lin's left hand swiped past the celestial sword and Shuligwa let out a miserable groan. His entire body trembled when Wang Lin wiped his connection to the flying sword. Shuligwa's body immediately turned into a cloud of black fog. At the moment Wang Lin cut him off from the celestial sword, he felt the killing intent he hadn't felt for hundreds of years. My grandma, this is real killing intent. This fiend wants to kill me. Shuligwa let out a scream and wanted to immediately escape. After he helped Wang Lin with the giant demon clan ancestor, he hadn't felt this killing intent that followed him for most of his life. A tiger is still a tiger, no matter docile it becomes, it will never become a cat. Shuligwa bitterly smiled in his heart as he remembered this old proverb from his hometown. Shuligwa was just about to escape, but Wang Lin's eyes became cold and countless restrictions appeared before Shuligwa. Then Shuligwa let out a scream before his body turned into a ray of sharp sword energy. He managed to break through the restrictions Wang Lin placed and shot off into the distance. Wang Lin's eyes narrowed and he revealed a sneer. This Shuligwa really had concealed a lot, like the ability to turn into a sword. This was something he definitely didn't know back in planet Suzaku. At this moment, there were sounds of explosions coming from inside his bag of holding. Clearly there was something going crazy inside his bag of holding. He waved his hand and increased the amount of seals on the bag. After doing this, he coldly looked at where Shuligwa ran off to and said, "Come back." After he said that, the restriction he had left inside Shuligwa's body activated. Shuligwa's wail came from the distance, but soon this wailing faded away. Wang Lin's eyes became even colder. As I expected, unless this devil Shuligwa was confident in going against the restriction I placed on him all those years ago, he definitely wouldn't be so disobedient. Wang Lin took a step forward and crossed over 1,000 feet with just one step. Although Shuligwa was able to resist the restriction through some unknown method, he couldn't cut the connection between him and Wang Lin. With just this, Wang Lin could catch him. Shuligwa escaped at full speed. He used to be a soul, but now that he was a sword spirit, his speed was far faster than before. At this moment, due to fear, he was displaying his full strength as he desperately fled like a ghost. Fiend! I have contributed so much and yet you actually tried to kill me. Didn't I just find a little beauty I love? Didn't I just hide a little secret? Didn't I just decide to find a chance to take the celestial sword and Little Black to run away? Shuligwa let out a sigh and realized why the fiend wanted to kill him. After he met Little Black, he learned a lot of spells used by sword spirits. Also, with the help of Little Black, the two of them spent a lot of effort to finally loosen the restriction Wang Lin had placed in his body. Shuligwa was very timid, so he was always very careful. He used the moment when Wang Lin was in a big battle with another to loosen the seal in him, so Wang Lin indeed didn't notice. Originally, he was extremely proud, but he underestimated Wang Lin's suspicion and scheming and allowed Wang Lin to see through his lies. Alas, if I knew this was going to happen, Shuligwa shook his head and quickly fled. He was very fast and soon he was about to escape from Sky Demon City. He turned around to look back at the Imperial Palace and revealed a trace of solemnity. Goodbye, my beloved little beauty. One day I'll come back and find you. This guy, even until now, only thought of his little beauty and completely forgot about this little brother, the Black Blade. Shuligwa revealed a hint of sadness before turning around, and he was about to continue escaping when he suddenly stopped. His expression changed slightly, but he immediately showed an expression meant to please and flatter. Master, your speed is so fast. It seems your cultivation has increased a lot. You are indeed worthy of being my master. Wang Lin appeared 100 feet before Shuligwa. His face was filled with indifference. Wang Lin slowly said, "You sure have guts." Shuligwa's body trembled as he kneeled to the ground, hammered his chest, and begged, "Master, I know I was wrong, really wrong. I will never dare to do it again." Just as he got here, the restriction around Wang Lin's bag of holding collapsed and a black light flew out of it without his permission. The black light flew toward Wang Lin at an unimaginable speed. If Wang Lin was still at the mid-stage of soul transformation, it would have been impossible for him to dodge at this distance. Even now, at the peak of the late stage of soul transformation, it was still not easy. But right now Wang Lin didn't even look at that black light. This time he would completely subdue this black, half-moon blade. Life seals quickly surrounded Wang Lin's body, and when the blade collided with the life seals, there was the sound of metal colliding. The black, half-moon blade was bounced back. Wang Lin reached out with his finger, but the black, half-moon blade managed to dodge it. Then it circled around once more and madly charged at Wang Lin. This time its target was between Wang Lin's eyebrows. The sound of metal colliding could be heard once more, and the black, half-moon blade was bounced back once more. This time it looked extremely angry as it backed up and to try to attack again. However, just at this moment, it suddenly turned toward Shuligwa and seemed like it wanted to take Shuligwa and escape. Interesting. Wang Lin's eyes lit up. Now that he had the life seals battling it, the half-moon blade was a lot easier to deal with than the first time. As the half-moon blade flew toward Shuligwa, Wang Lin took a step and celestial spiritual energy immediately began to spread with his foot as the center. The celestial spiritual energy instantly spread over 1,000 feet, reacting with the seal inside Shuligwa's body and causing Shuligwa to freeze for a moment. Shuligwa looked like he was really regretting what he did, but on the inside, he was cursing loudly at Wang Lin. That, however, did him no good. At the same time, Wang Lin's hand formed seals, creating restrictions that floated in the air. These restrictions created a larger, incomplete restriction. The set of restrictions was missing one, and the missing piece was inside Shuligwa. Although Wang Lin spent much painstaking effort to set the restriction back then, it was still so much weaker than what he could do now. Now that the restrictions were activated, Shuligwa's body immediately began to involuntarily fly toward it. The half-moon blade was very anxious and wanted to stop this, but Wang Lin arrived before it in just one step. It had to dodge and thus was delayed, and Shuligwa watched that set of restrictions enter his body. His body trembled as he revealed a flattering smile and begged. "Master, see that? Now the restriction is also here, so please forgive me, I really won't dare to rebel again." Wang Lin ignored Shuligua and reached toward the half-moon blade. The half-moon blade wanted to dodge again, but Wang Lin's eyes became cold and he shouted, "Slaughter energy!" At this moment, strands of grey gas charged out from between Wang Lin's eyebrows. More than 3,000 strands of grey gas charged out and surrounded the half-moon blade. But the half-moon blade was too fast. It took advantage of the moment the grey gas was still closing in to charge out. However, just as it broke free, Wang Lin appeared before it and flicked it back in. "Wang Lin," he said, "gather." More than 3,000 strands of slaughter energy quickly condensed into a sphere. There were sounds of collisions coming from inside the sphere, but no matter what the half-moon blade did, it couldn't charge out. Wang Lin no longer looked at the half-moon blade and his cold gaze fell on Shuligua. Shuligua's body shivered and he giggled. "Master, what command do you have? Want me to go persuade Little Black? I'll definitely make him obedient in the future." Wang Lin looked at Shuligua and asked, "Do you know why I won't let you go look for that sword spirit?" Shuligua quickly nodded and said, "I know, I understand." Although he said this, he thought in his heart, "Clearly you just want to separate me and the little beauty. I guess there's an 80% chance that you are eyeing the little beauty yourself." "Alas, I, Shuligua, am so unfortunate to have my wife stolen from me at such a young age. In Sky Demon City, experts are as common as clouds. Do you really think no one will notice you? Once you are found with your weak cultivation, you will only be caught, of your will wiped away, and become the sword spirit for their treasure. Shuligua, you still don't understand." Wang Lin's voice echoed in Shuligua's heart like a giant bell. He was startled and was dumbfounded, then he weakly said, "This. I can't be found." His heart began to pound. After listening to Wang Lin, he 80% believed him. He wondered if he was caught by someone else, would that person be as curious as the giant demon clan ancestor? However, if I were caught by the owner of the Little Beauty, it would be a good thing. Then me and the Little Beauty would be together. Shuligua secretly thought this, but he didn't dare to say it to Wang Lin. Wang Lin coldly looked at Shuligua as if he had seen through Shuligua's inner thoughts. Shuligua was nervous, but instead of backing down, he opened his eyes wider and looked at Wang Lin. He thought to himself, hold it, and it will be victory for me. The more nervous I am, the more I have to maintain this act." Wang Lin slowly said, "You learned quite a bit from the blade spirit from the black, half-moon blade." Shuligua blinked his eyes and without hesitation told Wang Lin all of the sword spells he had learned, including how he could conceal his presence, completely fuse with the celestial sword, and at full strength, make the celestial sword several times stronger and so on. As he spoke, he secretly gauged Wang Lin's mood and was very careful. He hadn't experienced this kind of feeling in hundreds of years, but now that he was feeling it again, it didn't feel unfamiliar to him at all. After he finished listening to Shuligua speak, Wang Lin reached out toward the sphere formed by the slaughter energy. There was no longer any sound coming from inside it. When Wang Lin touched the small sphere, strands of slaughter energy returned to his body. When only several hundred strands of slaughter energy were left, a ray of blade energy suddenly charged out, but because it was entangled by slaughter energy, it couldn't help but slow down. Wang Lin was already prepared. He pinched his fingers and the blade energy immediately collapsed. The black, half-moon blade struggled violently between his fingers. Wang Lin opened his mouth and spat some origin energy on the half-moon blade, then his eyes lit up. He didn't have time to slowly refine it, so he went for the direct route. He didn't care if he was going to harm the blade spirit and decided to directly engrave his aura into the half-moon blade. After doing this, he waved his right hand and the half-moon blade flew out, releasing an unwilling blade him. Wang Lin took out the celestial sword and threw it at Shuligua. Shuligua relaxed a lot as he revealed a joyous expression and fused with the sword. The half-moon blade floated in the air, and when it noticed that Shuligua was no longer in danger, it hesitated. Although it disliked Wang Lin, in the end, it followed Shuligua's example and floated beside Wang Lin. To be more accurate, the half-moon blade was following Shuligua. Shuligua was inside the celestial sword as he looked at the black, half-moon blade and felt very proud. See, even the fiend can't subdue Little Black, and I all had to do was wave my finger to make him my little brother. It looks like my charm is much stronger than this fiend's. Thinking about this, he felt very pleasant and thought, no matter how strong this fiend is, he can never match me on this. Also, I am far more flexible than him. Also, I have better luck with beauties. Both the great beauty and little beauty are mine, he can't match me on this. Aside from his cultivation level being a little higher than mine, I'm better than him at everything else. Alas, an outstanding devil such as myself is rare in this world. The loneliness, Shuligwa felt very good about himself, he even had sense of superiority. Now he looked at Wang Lin from the celestial sword with a trace of sympathy and pride. Wang Lin slapped his bag of holding and Shuligwa quickly flew inside followed by the half-moon blade. At the moment Shuligwa entered the bag of holding, he suddenly stopped. He looked at the imperial city in the distance and thought, little beauty, your brother Shu is back. I'm not leaving anymore. If I can't take you away, I'm not leaving this sky demon city. Inside the sword pavilion of the imperial palace, the serpentine sword trembled. Then it turned into the form of a girl, wrinkled her nose, and viciously said, that despicable and shameless sword spirit better not let me see him again. If I see him again, even if it goes against the emperor's orders, I'll take the sword and slice him in half. After retrieving the sword and blade, Wang Lin returned to Hong City. The day had gone by and it was now night as Wang Lin flew toward the Mo mansion. As he flew, he frowned, stopped, and said, "What is it?" Several people appeared on the other side of this long road. There were males and females among them, and all of them were at the soul transformation stage. Some had even reached the mid and late stages of soul transformation. Wang Lin's expression was calm as he looked at the cultivators before him without speaking at all. He found no killing intent coming from them but instead felt powerful grief and indignation. A white-robed man walked out from the group. He had a bright look as he clasped his hands at Wang Lin and said, "I had already heard of Brother Wang Lin's fame back on planet Tianyun. The battle at the Demon General competition a few days ago made me and others admire you greatly." Wang Lin looked at everyone and more or less knew what they were thinking. At this moment, he also clasped his hands and said, "You flatter me." The white-robed man let out a sigh and said, "I'm the junior sect master of the Jade Sword sect. I was forced to get involved in the Demon General competition. Brother Wang's actions a few days ago were like a blow to my head that awakened me. In this demon spirit land, we cultivators are lower than ants. Demon generals can't die, and killing a demon generals means we die with them, so in the end only cultivators can die. We are like actors performing for the enjoyment of the demon generals." Wang Lin pondered and didn't speak. "This is Demon General Aodi's helper." The man pointed at the person beside him. A middle-aged man wearing a Daoist robe stepped out, clasped his hands, and respectfully said, "Fellow cultivator Wang, Aodi's death has also awakened me. Although merits in the demon spirit land are good, what's the use if I don't have a life to enjoy it?" The white-robed man let out a sigh and said, "It is not by choice that we cultivators are here fighting for the amusement of the demon generals. These fellow cultivators with me are all ready to leave Sky Demon City. Today we are here to say goodbye to fellow cultivator Wang." "Goodbye?" With that, he took a deep breath and flew into the sky. The several cultivators behind him all said their farewells to Wang Lin and disappeared over the horizon. Wang Lin quietly stood there as he stared at where all the cultivators went, and he silently pondered. Cultivators were people who walked against the heavens and naturally had their pride. If they bowed down for power, then they were no longer going against the heavens but merely adapting. However, going against the heavens had its own meaning. The cultivators that left weren't rebelling, but avoiding. A true rebellion was to not avoid the world, not avoid fate, not avoid the laws of the heavens, but to walk against it all. Cultivators without their own Tao are no longer cultivators. Wang Lin didn't fly but walked down the road. His shadow under the moonlight was very long. Cultivation. Rebelling against the heavens. Having their own Tao, Wang Lin slowly walked on the road. This road seemed endless. After an unknown amount of time, the Mo mansion appeared before him. The light from the lantern outside the Mo mansion was very gentle. It was like the beacon of light in the darkness. Wang Lin stopped walking and silently looked at it. Although the light was small, it could illuminate the Mo Mansion's plaque. The night breeze caused the lantern to shake, and even the flame inside it was flickering. Although the weather was like this, the flame of the lantern stubbornly remained lit. As Wang Lin silently stood in the dark, his eyes revealed a hint of enlightenment. However, this still wasn't enough. He felt like he had caught something, but in the blink of an eye, it felt like there was nothing at all. An astonishing metamorphosis was silently taking root inside Wang Lin. Time slowly passed, and the darkness covering the earth was slowly forced to retreat by the sun rising on the east. In Wang Lin's eyes, the darkness retreated like the low tide. At this moment, it was as if lightning had flashed across Wang Lin's mind while zither music echoed in his head. At this moment, it was as if he had reached a moment of enlightenment. Can the dark night being swept away by the sun be considered act of defiance? This defying nature will be the key to achieving the ascendant stage. Wang Lin had a vague idea. His understanding was not very deep, but it had taken root. Wang Lin's eyes revealed a mysterious light. Instead of returning to the Mo Mansion, he headed toward the lake. He sat on the riverside like an old monk meditating. Although there was no zither music being played, in his ears, the sound continued to echo. The zither music has no emotion, but due to the sadness in the heart, it becomes sad music. This isn't rebelling, it's different from what I felt earlier. Then why it is that when I listen to the zither music, I can feel the sense of rebellion? It was now noon, so the sun was blazing at the top of the sky. The boats arrived, and the young man from several days ago was beside the woman playing the zither. This time his gaze fell on Wang Lin while he was still far away. As the zither music floated into Wang Lin's ears, the young man stood up beside the woman, held his wine cup, and raised it toward Wang Lin. Wang Lin picked up the wine jug, shook it, and took a drink. The young man shook his head as he pointed at the boat's bow. He hadn't taken a single sip. Wang Lin chuckled. Although this young man looked ordinary, he gave off a carefree feeling. Wang Lin pondered a bit before walking across the river and landing on the bow of the boat. The woman playing the zither didn't notice that there was now an extra person on the boat. She continued to play the music filled with sadness. The young man smiled and drank the entire cup, then he waved his sleeves and sat down. Wang Lin also sat down, and he drank from his wine jug. He listened to the zither music up close and quietly watched the woman's jade hands. None of the three people on the bow of the boat spoke. After the young man invited Wang Lin, he only smiled, and Wang Lin didn't want to speak because this zither music had already moved him. Any other sound would just be white noise compared to the zither music. The zither music was endless as the boat floated down the river. Wang Lin spent the entire day on the boat with the young man. If the two of them ran out of wine, a servant would come out from the boat and prepare wine for them. The day slowly darkened and lights were lit up on the sides of the river. There were even lights coming from the boats, they were quite beautiful. When the boat returned to where Wang Lin first boarded, he stood up, clasped his hands at the young man, and was about to leave. At this moment, the young man, who hadn't spoken all day, softly said, "Brother seems to have a different comprehension when listening to the zither music." Wang Lin paused and said, "It reminds me of an old friend." The young man drank from the cup and bitterly said, "No wonder. Those without any worries wouldn't be moved by this zither music. It looks like brother is the same as me." As the two spoke, the woman playing the zither trembled, and the zither music also trembled with her. The young man said, "If brother has nothing to do, how about the two of us drink until dawn while listening to Lady Ming Xian's zither music?" Wang Lin pondered a bit, then he looked at the young man and nodded. "That's good." The young man faintly smiled as he poured another cup and said, "I have observed brother for several days now. Although you are by the riverside, your heart isn't there, it's as if you are just a passerby." Wang Lin took a drink and said, "I'm merely a commoner. Even if I was a passerby, it was only an illusion. Are you not the same? Although your soul is here, your body is somewhere else." The young man gave Wang Lin a meaningful look and said, "Too many rude guests at home. It is too noisy there, so my soul came here to find some peace." Wang Lin softly said, "So you are a man with a family?" The young man asked, "Brother doesn't have a home." I do, however, it is very far, very far. The valley from planet Suzaku appeared in Wang Lin's mind. The young man asked, is there anyone else at home? No one. You? Wang Lin picked up the wine jug and took a drink. I have a niece, but she is far too naughty, and recently she has been bothered by a bad customer. While speaking of this, the young man smiled. The two of them chatted for a bit before running out of words, then they just quietly sat there. Bathed in moonlight, the two listened to the zither music while drinking wine. The night passed by, and a glimmer of light appeared over the horizon and slowly illuminated the earth. Ming Xian had long ago left to rest, but the two men still sat motionlessly on the boat. Although the zither was no longer being played, the zither music still played in their ears. Wang Lin picked up the wine jug and clasped his hands at the young man. He then took a step and disappeared into the morning mist. Inside the Imperial City, the first round of the Demon General competition had come to an end. Only 48 Demon Generals remained from the hundreds at the start. The rest all lost or were disqualified due to having a victory and a defeat. During the several days the first round took place, no one other than Aodi suffered heavy injuries among the Demon Generals. However, the deaths and injuries were very serious among cultivators. After all, this was a slaughter between cultivators. When the people of the Da Lu Sword sect went against the Demon Generals, they stopped without doing much harm. However, against the cultivators, they were extremely vicious, as if they were trying to display their strength. The morning sunlight swept across the 10,000-foot square. There were even more people watching than before. After all, the following battle was when the real fights would take place. Except for a few that made it through luck, all of the remaining contenders were famous. 48 demon generals walked through the Sky Demon Gate. A powerful battle intent seemed to form a primordial beast that charged through the gate the moment it was opened. The golden-armored man at the center of the square coldly looked at everyone that entered. When he saw Wang Lin, he let out a cold snort. From his point of view, a mere cultivator had dared to seriously injure a demon general. In his mind, that was enough for him to kill this person hundreds of times. In my demon spirit land, these so-called cultivators are just a bunch of bandits. Their purpose here is nothing other than trying to get the ancient demon inheritance, so if they die, then they die. However, if they dare to hurt a demon general, then they have committed a great crime. The golden-armored man was extremely dissatisfied with Wang Lin, and a killing intent appeared in his heart. Wang Lin coldly looked at the golden-armored man. He cultivated the celestial slaughter art, so he was extremely sensitive to killing intent. After the demon generals and helpers had all walked through the Sky Demon Gate, it slowly closed with a thunderous roar. The golden-armored man pointed at the war drum and coldly said, "Following the demon emperor's order, the second round has changed. It will no longer be a battle, but a competition to ring this war drum." After he said that, all of the various demon generals' expressions changed and became bright. Even Molahai trembled, and his eyes glowed like they never had before. War demon drum. This is a holy treasure of my Sky Demon country, second only to the Dragon Lake. Normally, only when a vice commander-in-chief gets promoted to commander-in-chief are they allowed to ring that drum. The demon general competition never changed before, so why did it change today? It looks like the matter of choosing two new vice commander-in-chiefs isn't groundless after all. It is said that every commander-in-chief rings this drum when they accept their position, but it is extremely hard to ring. So far, only the Heaven Commander-in-Chief has managed to ring it 15 times. Debates began to echo like never before. Even the debates from when Wang Lin seriously injured Aodi were much weaker than this. The golden-armored man let out a cold snort that spread across the square like thunder, causing everyone to quiet down. Although he didn't understand the demon emperor's order, he still coldly said, "This drum was left behind by the first demon emperor of the Sky Demon country, and rumor has it that it is made from the skin of an ancient demon. Those without enough strength will explode before they can even ring it once. If you can ring it 3 times, you are strong. If you can ring it 6 times, you are a genius blessed by the heavens. There are not many of you who can ring it 3 times. The top 10 of this round move on." The rule of this round is that the amount of times the demon generals and their helpers can ring the drum are added together. After the golden-armored man finished speaking, he didn't let the people have time to begin talking again. He pointed at someone in the crowd and said, "Demon General Yu Sen, come out." A person walked out from the group of demon generals. His eyes were cold and his armor made crisp sounds as he walked. He soon arrived before the demon drum. As he looked at the demon drum, his eyes suddenly lit up, and the powerful battle intent in his heart was ignited. He didn't immediately act but silently stood there and adjusted the demonic spiritual energy in his body to ensure he was in peak condition. After all, he had no confidence in ringing this drum, because to him, this drum was like a holy relic. The golden-armored man looked at Yu Sen and thought, with Yu Sen's cultivation, he should be able to ring it 4 times. If he forces a 5th time, he will be crushed. He only took a glance before closing his eyes. Everyone's gazes gathered on Yu Sen, but he was completely indifferent to them. In order to prevent himself from being disturbed by others, he closed his eyes and completely ignored the outside world. He eventually released an evil aura around his body that spread out into the air and continued to condense. Waves of discussion spread from the surrounding seats. The Tao of Slaughter is extremely hard to cultivate. This Yu Sen cultivated it for many years, and being the first person up, I'm afraid he will definitely become famous. Who knows, this demon drum is made from the skin of an ancient demon. Even if Yu Sen can ring it, he will be injured from the backlash. The 8 commander-in-chiefs also looked at Yu Sen with looks of interest in their eyes. However, they didn't need to talk like everyone else, they just needed one look to be able to clearly see what was happening. Although the 6 vice-commander-in-chiefs didn't have the insight the commander-in-chiefs had, they had high cultivation levels, so they could see some clues on this matter. Only the Xian vice-commander-in-chief wasn't looking at Yu Sen at all but was instead looking at Wang Lin. "Wang Lin, I wonder how many times you can ring it." Just as he was thinking this, the yellow vice-commander-in-chief smiled. "Xian vice-commander-in-chief, I'm afraid I will be winning our bet. The cultivator you chose can only go on his own, so he will without a doubt lose." The Xian vice-commander-in-chief let out a cold snort and said, "You just wait and see, this person is definitely not as simple as you think." As the two of them talked, Yu Sen suddenly opened his eyes, and it was like the war god had descended on his body. The light released from his eyes was as bright as the moon. A roar that sounded like it was coming from a tiger or dragon came out from Yu Sen's mouth. Then he leaped through the air like a sword that was just unsheathed and flew directly at the demon drum. While in the air, his 2 fingers formed a sword. At this moment, all of the energy in his body gathered on his fingers, then he stabbed forth with his 2 fingers pointed at the demon drum. The black drum sunk in slightly, but it was to a very small degree. Right after it sank in a bit, it immediately bounced back. A muffled drum sound echoed across the sky. It spread across the square, could be heard throughout the entire imperial city, and even affected a small portion of Sky Demon City. At the moment the drum rang, Yu Sen felt an unimaginable force coming from the demon drum. The force was piercing through his body. Yu Sen's face became pale and his eyes filled with killing intent. Rather than retreating, he took another step and his 2 fingers landed on the demon drum again. Dong! The sound of the drum was like thunder descending. Yu Sen let out a roar and the demonic spiritual energy around him turned into various faces. Each of these faces had different expressions, but they all quickly disappeared. Every time a face disappeared, another one appeared. Soul-devouring slaughter, first layer. Yu Sen's voice seemed to come from the depths of hell. After he shouted this, all of the faces in pain seemed to find an outlet and madly charged toward Yu Sen's right hand. His entire right hand released a blinding, blue light. Yu Sen let out a roar, then his right hand formed a palm and slammed down on the demon drum. Before he touched the demon drum, the wind created by the force landed on the drum. The 3rd drum sound echoed across the world. At this moment, everyone nearby was moved. Although there were some tricks behind using the wind created by the palm to hit the drum, this showed just how powerful this soul-devouring slaughter spell was. After the wind passed, Yu Sen's right hand pressed down on the drum. At almost the moment the 3rd ring came, the 4th quickly followed. The two sounds spread out like rolling thunder. Yu Sen quickly retracted his right hand and retreated. Then he backed up thousands of feet before finally stabilizing himself. His face turned red and he forced himself to not cough out blood. His right hand was trembling and he had lost all sensation from it. He had used over 80% of the demonic spiritual energy in his body on that spell. The golden armored man slowly said, 4 times. Demon General Yu Sen's helper, come out. Yu Sen took a deep breath and said, I don't have a helper. The golden armored man's gaze moved away from Yu Sen and landed among the demon generals to pick another one. He first looked at Wang Lin and sneered, but he didn't call him out. Instead, he looked at Mo Fei and said, Demon General Mo Fei, come out. After he said that, all of the discussion stopped and every gaze fell on one person. This person was wearing armor and had a hideous mask over his face. His long, black hair flowed in the wind as he walked out from the crowd. His pace wasn't fast, but to the people watching, it was as if his steps had the exact same frequency as their heartbeats. Demon General Mo Fei, 300 years ago he was number 1 among demon generals. This person spent most of his time at the border. It is said that Mo Fei's head is worth a lot in the eyes of the fire demon country. This Mo Fei's cultivation is very mysterious. Even until now, everyone has only ever seen him use the Great Rotating Disc spell. I'm confident this person can at least ring the drum 5 times. Mo Fei. The Earth Commander-in-Chief looked at Mo Fei, revealed a smile, and said, if this child can experience the Dragon Lake one more time, he can be considered top 3 among the Vice Commander-in-Chiefs. A middle-aged man in purple robes who looked very elegant smiled and said, could it be that your love for genius is moved by Mo Fei? The Earth Commander-in-Chief laughed and nodded. The Earth Commander-in-Chief laughed again. If this child can ring the drum 6 times, even if it's not enough for him to become a Vice Commander-in-Chief, I'll recommend him. As Mo Fei casually walked toward the demon drum, everyone's gazes followed his movements. When he was 100 feet from the demon drum, he stopped and looked at it. He didn't waste any time to adjust his body and punched at the air. Dong! The sound of the drum echoed across the square like muffled thunder. Mo Fei's armor seemed like it was being blown by a powerful wind, and violent crackling sounds came from it. His hair was also blown back like crazy by this wind, but his body didn't move at all, almost like he was nailed to the ground. Even his expression didn't have the slightest change. So it is not that hard. This person chuckled as he stepped forward 10 feet and threw another punch. Dong! Mo Fei didn't stop. He stepped forth another 10 feet and threw one more punch at the air. Dong! The 3 rings from the drum were like the roars of an ancient beast that echoed in the sky above Sky Demon City. The sounds of the drum echoed endlessly. Some of the spectators didn't have enough demonic spiritual energy, so they suffered internal injuries. After ringing it 3 times, Mo Fei paused for a moment because he felt an unimaginable force rushing toward him from the demon drum. He took another step and became like an unmoving rock among raging waves. The armor around his body shook violently, but it stabilized when he spread out his demonic aura. Mo Fei's eyes lit up like burning torches and he revealed a serious expression as he muttered to himself, interesting. He stepped forward another 10 feet and threw a punch. Dong! He didn't stop after 1 punch and threw another punch. Dong! Mo Fei continued to walk forward, closing the distance between him and the demon drum. Every time he took a step, he would throw a punch. Dong! At the moment the 6th ring occurred, almost everyone watching began to cheer. Even all the commander-in-chiefs, except for the Heaven Commander-in-Chief, revealed looks of admiration for Mo Fei's talent. Mo Fei! Mo Fei! Mo Fei! Waves of cheers came from the surrounding people. Someone who could ring the drum 6 times could be considered a genius blessed by the heavens. He wasn't injured at all after ringing the drum 6 times, he was even relaxed. Just this point placed him far above all the other demon generals. Even the golden armored man nodded. The look of admiration for Mo Fei's talent was strong. Can 6 rings make me stop? Mo Fei's eyes shined brightly as he jumped into the air and slammed down on the demon drum. Dong! The seventh ring echoed. This video will end here.